Hi, this is Mrs. Wagner, and I have a lesson for you on conjunctions. Conjunctions join words, phrases, or sentences, or clauses. So a clause is basically a fancy word for saying a group of words with a subject and a predicate. Now we know all sentences have to have a subject and a predicate. Complete sentences, or independent clauses, have a subject, a predicate, and a complete thought. Dependent clauses, or subordinating clauses, have a subject and a predicate, but no complete thought. So we need to understand that concept before we take a closer look at these conjunctions. By the end of this lesson, hopefully you will be able to understand the 4 kinds of conjunctions and how to use them properly in sentences with the correct grammar and punctuation. So the first conjunction is coordinating conjunctions. Those join equal values. They join 2 nouns, they join 2 verbs, they join 2 adjectives, or they join 2 sentences. They are and, but, or, for, nor, so, yet. So we will take a look at some examples of those in a minute. The next kind of conjunction is called subordinating conjunction. They join 2 unequal clauses, which means subordinating conjunctions join a subordinating clause with an independent clause, or a dependent clause plus an independent clause. Subordinating and dependent mean the same thing. So those are words like since, when, because, unless, though, until. When you have a sentence that begins these, if you don't finish it with another independent clause, you have a fragment. So since it was cold outside, that's not a complete thought because I'm waiting to hear what's next, right? I have a subject, it. I have a predicate, was. Since it was cold outside, what? So I need to add another clause after that that's complete. Since it was cold outside, comma, I wore my heaviest coat, period. So subordinating clauses begin dependent clauses, and those are fragments because they're missing that complete thought. Now, we learn about them because if we want to add sentence variety in our writing, using dependent clauses and independent clauses together in one long sentence can add that variety that I'm looking for. When I'm beginning with a subordinating clause, I have my clause and it's followed up with a comma. And then I have the independent clause ending with a period. Now, correlative conjunctions show comparisons or contrasts. There are words like either, or, neither, nor, both, and, not only, but also. Those are like coordinating conjunctions in that they join equal values. And now my favorite conjunction is called the conjunctive adverb, or an adverbial conjunction. Those are words like however, therefore, moreover. I'll show you how to use those with a semicolon. And that too adds sentence variety in your writing, especially if you are writing for an audience that you're trying to impress, and especially if you're a young student. If you can use those sentences correctly, that's a definite show-off point. So let's take a look at how conjunctions join words. The eagle and the butterfly have a lot in common. In this example, I'm joining eagle and butterfly, 2 nouns. In the next example, the eagle flies and hunts in search of food. In this example, I'm joining flies and hunts, 2 verbs. The last example, the tired and hungry eagle sunk his claws into his prey. In this example, and is joining 2 adjectives. So conjunctions can join just simple words, but they have to be equal. 2 nouns, 2 verbs, 2 adjectives. They can also join 2 phrases, 2 sentences. So now let's take a look at how conjunctions join phrases. The eagle soared over the ocean waves and above the fisherman's boat. In this example, and is joining 2 prepositional phrases. Now let's take a look at how conjunctions join sentences. The eagle soared over the ocean waves, comma, and then it landed on a rocky cliff overlooking the sea. So in this example, I have 2 independent clauses, 2 complete sentences. They both have a subject and a predicate. The eagle soared over the ocean waves. Who's it about? The eagle, subject. What did he do? Soared, predicate. It's a complete thought. The eagle soared over the ocean waves. Yes, it is. Then I'm joining it with a comma and a conjunction. And then my next independent clause says, then it landed on a rocky cliff overlooking the sea. What's my subject? It. What did it do? Landed is my predicate. So I have two independent clauses. When I am joining two sentences, two independent clauses with a conjunction, I need to use a comma. If I use a comma to join these two sentences and I don't use the conjunction, I have a comma splice. Think of a comma splice as it's splicing the sentence incorrectly. It is not strong enough to stand alone as a period. So if you add a conjunction, that makes the comma strong enough to separate those two sentences. Okay, the next example. The eagle looking for food soared over the ocean waves. However, there was no food available today. In this example, I have my favorite conjunctive adverb joining these two sentences with a semicolon and a conjunctive adverb. So when I look at my first sentence, the eagle looking for food soared over the ocean waves, I wanted to point out looking for food is a phrase that's just extra information. I can take it out and the sentence still makes sense. The eagle soared over the ocean waves. Looking for food is a type of phrase that we're going to look at in much later lessons, but I wanted to point this out to you that if it's extra information and you can take it out of the sentence and the sentence still makes sense, it should be surrounded by commas. Now I'm also, in this example, joining two complete sentences. So I'm joining two independent clauses. When they're closely related, I can use a semicolon to join them. The semicolon is the same thing as a comma conjunction, is the same thing as a period. So I can use a semicolon here as long as those sentences are related to each other. When I throw in however or therefore or moreover or another conjunctive adverb, it adds a transition, which is good for writing, and it looks like a complicated sentence to write. It's really not, but that's one way to add sentence variety, is using the conjunctive adverb. Now in the last example, either the waves were too big or the boat was too small, but I became violently ill. In this sentence, we're using two kinds of conjunctions, either or, and I'm also using comma but. So the coordinating conjunction comma but is joining two independent clauses. Now either or is joining two sentences, two clauses also. Either the waves were too big. What's it about? Waves. What did they do? Were. Were's not an action, but it's a linking verb, subject, predicate. Or the boat was too small. What's it about? The boat. What's my verb? Was. So I have two independent clauses being joined by the conjunction either or. And then I'm also joining that to another independent clause with comma but, a coordinating conjunction. So using conjunctions correctly can add sentence variety to your writing. It looks complicated, but if you use that punctuation correctly, you're showing your writer that you know how to read and know how to write. So we have to remember, use a comma before a conjunction when joining two sentences, because a comma without a conjunction is a comma splice. So let's take a look at each of these conjunctions in one more example before we move on. A coordinating conjunction, and, but, or, for, nor, so, yet. In this example, the tired feathered eagle abruptly landed in her nest, comma, but she did not disturb the bright white eggs. Comma, but is a coordinating conjunction joining two independent clauses, two complete sentences. The next example, subordinating conjunction. When the bald eagle stood on the edge of the rocks, comma, he scanned the ocean for any movement of prey in the chilly winter waters. Now here I have a dependent clause or subordinating clause combined with an independent clause. So the subordinating conjunction is when. The subordinating clause is when the bald eagle stood on the edge of the rocks. Who's it about? The eagle, subject. What did he do? Stood, predicate. But I don't have a complete thought if it's by itself. When the bald eagle stood on the edge of the rocks, what? What happened? So I need to add the independent clause after it. And when I do, a simple comma will do. Now, if I flipped the independent clause and the dependent clause in this sentence, and I started off, he scanned the ocean for any movement of prey in the chilly waters, when the bald eagle stood on the edge of the rocks, period. I can do that. And I don't need a comma if the subordinating conjunction is not first. So if the subordinating conjunction is first, I need a comma. If it's second and the independent clause is first, I don't need a comma. Okay, the third example, correlative conjunctions. The eagle not only is a symbol of freedom, but also is the national bird of the United States of America. My conjunctions in this example are not only, but also. And if you take a look closely at this sentence, not only, but also is joining two predicates. So after not only, I have the word is, a symbol of freedom, and after but also, I have another predicate is, the national bird of the United States of America. So where I run into trouble using correlative conjunctions is if I don't have them equal. A lot of people like to put the word is before not only, but when you're using not only but also or other correlative conjunctions, make sure you're joining equal parts. You have to join two nouns or two verbs or two sentences. And the last one, my favorite, the conjunctive adverb. The eagle's eyes spotted a leaping salmon. Semicolon, therefore, comma, he leapt from the tall oak and dove towards his next meal, period. So I have two independent clauses. I'm joining them with a semicolon and a conjunctive adverb, and I make sure I don't leave off my comma after that adverb. So that's it for conjunctions. A quick review, there's 4 kinds: coordinating, subordinating, correlative, and adverbial. We will also look at these closer whenever we study parts of a sentence. Conjunctions are important for adding sentence variety, and using conjunctions correctly prevents comma splices, fragments, and run-ons. Conjunction, junction, what's your function?